Alright. I was supposed to make a video last week, but my knife, the new one, well, I guess you already know what it is from the title, but what I was hoping to make a video on actually took a little bit, like a day longer than I expected, which isn't bad, but super fast shipper, got it off Instagram, really good price. I might put the guy's at in the description if I can find it, but yeah. Alright. Oh my god, that was horrible, but what I have is Ldy Sirius V2. The only difference is I really know, or I think I know, is, so obviously it's a little bit of a design difference between that and the new V4, which just released. I think that's only like 150 bucks. I got this for about 75, 80, which is, I think, a really good price for this. So the difference is, on the V2, you don't have those laser milling lines that the that the V4 has, like you can see. I don't believe that the Sirius V4 even has any sort of oh my god, I'm drawing a blank here. Any like lines here to help with ladders, kind of like this has jimping. That's it. It doesn't have jimping. This has actually really nice jimping, nice, comfortable. Not like I can do ladders, but let's see. See, I can get two, but then after that, it just stops. I don't know if it's because I'm doing it wrong, but anyway, there's no jimping there. It's aluminum, but and so it is a little bit slippery. Definitely a little bit slipperier than something like the Kraken, because the Kraken actually has some texturing on it and some more jimping than this one, but it actually doesn't get away from me as much as I expected it to. Okay, so let's see. This thing is extremely nice for the price too. It's a lot lighter than I expected. I thought it would be around like this weight, which is around like, I think it's 4.2 maybe 4.1. And I thought this was light because I only had the Bass before. And that one's definitely a little bit of a chunkier knife. So this thing felt light to me. Now this thing, because I've only been flipping the Sirius for the past 2-3 days, feels like the Kraken feels like it's got a little bit more weight to it, which I kind of like. A little bit heavier knives. I think 4.2, between 3.9 and 4.2, leaning more towards the heavier side, is my preferred weight. And then a preferred balance would be neutral, slightly handle biased, just to help perform those rollover tricks a little bit better. Got carbon honey in this thing. Oh my god, that sounds great. But yeah, so I have the Kraken with me instead of the Bass, which is a little weird because I haven't been flipping the Bass over the past 3 days, trying to get used to the Sirius. And to me, these two are honestly the two Bally's I've been having going head to head. So with the comparison, I guess, I don't even know, they're not really that similar to even compare, because this one's about $250. This one is a whole $100 cheaper, and this isn't even the V4 model. So, and it's already amazing. But let's see, it definitely has some larger handles than the Kraken does. It's definitely got a wider handle gap. I think most LDY products do have that, because my Orion has kind of a larger handle gap too. Actually, the Orion, it's got like probably the biggest handle gap I own of the knives I own. It's got like a thigh gap. So closed length, I believe the Kraken might be a little bit longer. It's like, I think that's even. It's like ever so slightly longer. And then open, I believe this is the Tonto version. But yeah, it's definitely like tiny bit longer. Can't really see, but longer, thinner handles here. And the Kraken, the Bowie version at least, I wouldn't say it's neutral. But it's not like insanely handle biased. Like, it doesn't really feel like it carries like insane. Like it does, obviously, the Kraken, but everyone knows kind of how that feels, I believe. It's probably one of the more and most common knives, like in the upper ranges of knives, like between that $200 range. So let's see the weight. Yeah, it's like right there. I would say that's pretty kind of neutral. And then you can kind of see in the fans. See, it's not neutral, but it's not mega handle bias. So this thing is a really nice, satisfying flipper. Holds onto all tricks pretty well. Handles super comfortable, slim. The rectangular build gives you quite a bit of grip, but then the slight chamfer on these little edges right here also make it easy for fans, or not easier, but more comfortable. And then those red fans, because of the square build, bring that knife right back to you with pretty good control. Okay, so enough about this one. Let me just actually finish this. The Ldy Sirius. I have been kind of finding myself picking this knife up more so than my Kraken. I think I'm flipping out of frame, but I do like this thing a little bit better. So, or I don't know if that is because it performs better, it's more comfortable, or it might just be because it's a new knife. I am guilty of having new knife bias. I don't even know if that's a thing, but whenever I get a new knife, I get it, I'm like, holy shit, this thing's amazing. I don't know if I'm ever gonna flip my other Bally's again. Give it a week or two, and then I'm back to flipping my normal stuff. So even though with that bias, the Bass still my favorite, but these two are competing and going head to head for my second more EDC carry, because I don't really like carrying the Bass out the house, not only because it's heavier, so it takes a little bit more concentration and intent to keep a good satisfying flow while also making sure I don't drop it or anything. Like it doesn't have an issue doing that. It's more user and error, because that knife is amazing, holds flow extremely well, and it can do tricks like nothing. Like it wants to do tricks for you. But like I said, it's a little bit heavier, so I can't just like have it in my pocket, take it out, just kind of do a fan, or I can do fans and shit, but I can't really do like crazy tricks on it because I don't want to cut myself again. That's definitely an issue I have with that. I do cut myself every now and then. Haven't got any cuts recently. Knock on wood though, because I'm not trying to cut myself with this, because it is decently sharp blade. I did dull it a tiny bit. I do dull my knives, not like to the point they're dull. They all still cut me, but just to the point, just like if I kind of mess up a like a short stop like this and it just bumps my finger, it's not going to give me a deep cut. I did have that issue for a little bit with the Bass, but I did dull it. Pained me to do so. Love that blade. I don't want to damage it in any way, and dulling it kind of leaves a little bit of markings, but I've gotten better to dulling. Unlike none of my current knives have any clear signs of like sandpaper or anything on it, but my Talisong, which was the first live blade I got, that one I kind of just, like, say I had sandpaper here, I just took it on the sides and I just went to town on it, so there would be scratching all along this edge. But yeah, so the Sirius and the Kraken, it's weird right now. Like I said, I do prefer the Sirius. I just feel like it has more personality. The Kraken is probably one of the best flippers I have in my collection, and it's very reliable. It's always good to go back, try new tricks on that I'm learning. Like I kind of learned the Rev palm fan Not that I can even do it well, but on this, because it's just such a familiar balance, and it's just a standard, really. This is what I expect when I spend over $200 on a Bowie. I want minimum this experience with these tight tolerances, the comfortability, and obviously flippability of the Kraken, which is insane. And listen to that sound. Alright, but since I'm doing that, I'll do a sound test and a little tolerance check. So 2 days ago, I put some super lube in this. I might actually, when it wears out, I'll put some carbon honey, but no like audible tap. I do feel a slight wiggle there, but overall it's nothing crazy to play. Like tiny wiggle again, really solid. And this one was beat a little bit. Let's see if it focuses. Try getting it to focus. I don't think it will, but there are a little bit of chips out here. A couple scratches on the face, but it's kind of hard to see with the color of this. But yeah, pretty good tolerances. I'll probably put some carbon honey in this. Maybe I'll post a short or something just to kind of show the sound of it. But when I first put it in that first night, this thing was soggy. It was even better than the Kraken, and it's pretty loud knife. Like, it's not quiet. I would say it's almost on the level of the Telzong. Not as loud. Nothing's really as loud as that. That is a loud knife. If you want people to know you're flipping, take that thing outside. Oh, your whole neighborhood will probably know. But yeah, this thing is very satisfying to flip. It was a lot lighter than I expected when I first unboxed it, because I never even looked at the specs of the knife. I kind of just really loved the design, and I saw it on Instagram, DM'd the guy, got it within a day. Or I paid for it and bought it from him within a day. Shipping took like 3-4 days, which was really fast, actually. I didn't expect that. Last time I had shipping that fast was the iBass. But anyways, yeah. So this knife, I think it's a little bit neutral, definitely leaning more handle biased, as you can see in these fans. But the way it carries, it holds momentum pretty well, trick to trick. Oopsie. I really don't feel myself just losing control. I feel pretty in control, I guess, of the tricks. I don't really feel like the knife is at any point almost running to get away from me, especially on things like chaplains or even aerials and stuff. I might do an aerial. See, look. I don't even feel like it's going away. And that's another thing. These chaplains is super comfortable because this entire part of the blade right here is crowned, kind of similar to how this is. And honestly, it's a little bit softer than the Krakens, which I thought was really impressive, because the Kraken, to me, had one of the smoothest chaplains. The iBass it does not actually have a crowned blade, so you can really feel the blade, but it's not really an issue. It's not uncomfortable. But this thing is nice to chaplain. You want to set a chaplain world record or something? I don't even know what that is, if there even is one. Probably do it on this thing. It's so comfortable, wouldn't even really hurt your finger, and it really is a comfortable knife. And like I keep saying, but honestly, it's also a little grippy. Aluminum, a little bit slipperier. It's more slippery than the Kraken over there, but honestly, for having not a lot of jimping other than all the stuff along the face, and here on the sides, there's really no jimping. This offers a lot more grip than I actually initially expected when I unboxed it and looked at it. but I have been pleasantly surprised. And these larger handles, like boxier, wider handles than the Kraken, to me offer a little bit more personality, I guess. So it's a little bit more of a fun flipper. It's definitely lighter, so I can flip it a lot longer. Just pop this thing in the case and then just flip it all the time. So I think this one is going to be my EDC for a little bit, because also since it's not anode, I really don't have to worry too much if I accidentally do drop it on concrete. I try not dropping any of my knives on concrete. The only one I did was the iBass on my driveway. That thing took a nasty hit, but literally left no damage because of the titanium. But yeah. Oh, I don't even know if that was in frame. Again, it's a weird height to do those chokofran aerials. If I was standing somewhere over carpet, I would do them more. That's really all I do. I do a whole lot of those on my own. But since I have to hold the phone and then I'm like thigh height out of bed, it's a little bit weirder, and I don't really want to drop it on the hardwood here and show my feet too. But yeah, this thing, super fun, satisfying flipper, very smooth. I would definitely think about picking one of these up, especially those V4 models, because they're only 150 bucks for some beautiful looking anodes and like an amazing flipping experience. So definitely would recommend this knife. And I might do an update. I'm gonna try posting another video sometime this week if I can, even though Halloween's coming up. I'm gonna be a little bit busy going out this whole weekend, and then a whole lot of physics tests this week, calculus test coming up. So definitely gonna be a little bit busy, but I am going to try to post more about this thing and just in general. Not sure what I really want to post on next. I might do a solo video for the Talazong just because I don't actually see a whole lot of videos on that. But yeah, this was the Sirius review. Not really. Just kind of me talking about how I like it, which I do. Definitely an insanely good knife. And, you know, actually, one last thing. Even though I can't do it, even though there's no jimping here, the ladders, they aren't the worst. Not like my ladders are any good, but look at that. It's not like, ow, it's not like your hand goes flying off on these wide handles. Look at that. I can do these, or attempt to do those rev fans the best. I have the most control. Like, look at that. You can just perfectly stop it because you have more space to work with because of this wider handle gap. Video cut, but I was ending anyway. Super nice knife overall. Make another update, like I've said, about this thing later on in the week, probably. Let's just get a little bit more flips with it.